Now, this week, George Washington University, which is in our nation's capital, offered a special training course entitled Christian Privilege. So the kids who are paying over $67,000 a year to go to that school are going to be able to sign up for a seminar that will tell them that Christians get a way better deal in life than non-Christians. Now, the course is offered by Professor Tim Kaine, and it's presented as part of the diversity effort. And it's designed to shame people for being Christians and having it just way too good. Now, this is just one more example of our nation losing its mind and pretending to be sophisticated and enlightened when it is becoming unhinged. I mean, first of all, if there is some special Christian privilege going on, then why did Aaron and Melissa Klein, those bakers in Oregon, get fined over $135,000 for being Christian and not making a same-sex wedding cake? Or what about the Little Sisters of the Poor, a Catholic group of elderly nuns who were being harassed by the federal government to force them to provide abortion services in their health care plan? Think about that. Nuns over the age of 60 told they had to provide birth control and abortions for their nuns in their order. Let that sink in. Or what about Kim Davis, the county clerk of Kentucky, actually put in jail without bond for following her so-called privileged beliefs, as well as following the Kentucky Constitution, which said that marriage was between a man and a woman? Heck, I got booted off the CMA Foundation board because my faith conflicted with some people in the music industry who were anything but tolerant of my faith and certainly didn't think diversity was all that good of an idea. I mean, who knew that being a Christian was the mark of privilege? And by the way, you're going to be hard-pressed to think of one current network television sitcom that portrays Christians in a positive and favorable light or even depicts them accurately. Now, if that's privilege, I'd like a little less of it. Okay, maybe I did grow up gnawing the lead paint off my toy soldiers. Maybe I rode my bicycle behind the mosquito fogger, and we ate non-organic tomatoes that were grown in my backyard. I confess we never had any diversity classes, and we didn't eat kale or tofu in the school cafeteria. We actually had government cheese and yeast rolls. And we also had something we call mystery meat, but it was some kind of meat. And by the way, if the fur of an animal kept us warm, nobody threw red paint on us. And silly us. We had restrooms that were marked boys or girls, and God help you if you ever strolled into the wrong one. We weren't so enlightened as to know that there were over 50 genders, as some pretend and proclaim now. There was still enough Judeo-Christian influence left that there was a belief that male and female created he, them. Now, I get screamed at for using him or her. I'm supposed to say sie or hers or some other something that is more complicated than learning French was when I was in high school. We were aware that people who were born a boy could have surgery and become a girl. Vice versa. We knew that too. But we never realized that we could just identify as something that we weren't, and we would instantly be that. Now, when we did do that, as in when we played cowboys and Indians, we were just said to be using our imagination. We never thought we really were cowboys and Indians. Of course, now it is not only politically incorrect to use those terms, but even if we were to call ourselves cowpersons and Native Americans, we would be in trouble for cultural appropriation. But why isn't it gender appropriation when a boy identifies as a girl or a girl identifies as a boy or a white person identifies as a black person? So just color me confused. Or color me Christian if you'd like, but please don't think that makes me privileged these days, because it makes me really toxic and unacceptable to people who don't know which bathroom to use or how to order a steak, but who look down their highly educated noses at those of us who, in fact, are privileged enough not to have lost our ever-loving minds and abandoned all evidence of common sense.